Hola amigos de nuevo, espero que todos estén súper bien el día de hoy y esta lección es sobre los verbos regulares, específicamente los verbos de AR or our AR verbs. Alright, so hopefully we remember that all Spanish verbs belong to either one of three classifications or conjugations, and this is dependent upon the ending of the infinitive. So if we remember, all infinitives end in either AR, ER, or IR. And each conjugation has its own set of endings that are added to what we remember, hopefully, as the stem of the verb. All right, so just a refresher. Each verb is separated into three distinct sections. We have the verb stem. We then have the infinitive ending, and those two put together create the infinitive. So let's work backwards here. I see that my verb right here is cantar. Bonus points if you can remember what that means. It is to sing. Okay? And we get cantar by putting together the verb stem and the infinitive ending. So that infinitive ending, remember, is either AR, ER, or IR. And in this verb, we see the AR there. And that means anything left over is considered our stem. We see the same process here with comer, which is to eat. And we see its infinitive ending was ER, and the stem is simply com. Next, we see vivir, which is to live, and we see that separated into the infinitive ending, the IR there, and the stem once again. So just for a brief little review, let's see what we can conclude from this one. I'm going to choose the word estudiar, right? This is to study. And I'm just going to underline here. So my infinitive ending that I have is going to be that AR there, and that makes my stem portion, this beginning, this estudi right there. Then once you put all of those together, you get the infinitive form estudiar, to study. All right, so we use this when we're talking about the present tense. This is the conjugation that we're going to be working with today. And this is the simple present, so we see I sing, or sometimes it can be translated to I am singing. Tenemos un ejemplo aquí. We have ella canta una canción triste. This sentence translates to either one of two things. Either she sings a sad song or she is singing a sad song. And the meaning is basically implied through contextual clues. Okay, so you can also kind of use the present tense to help you talk about the future if you are able to include an adverbial expression of future time. That is just a super long way to say something like the word tomorrow. Ella canta con usted, or she'll sing with you tomorrow. So to make a sentence negative, hopefully we remember that you place no directly before the first verb, right? Directly before. So I have a positive sentence right here. Yo canto en el baño. Let's see. My subject here is yo. My verb is here for canto en el baño. I sing in the bathroom. However, if I want to say I don't sing in the bathroom, I include this negative word here, no, directly followed by my verb canto en el autobús. I don't sing on the bus. Okay, so to conjugate the regular AR verb in the present tense, we have two steps to include. The first one is to drop the infinitive ending. So again, that AR, okay? And then we have to add the endings o, as, a, amos, ais, and an to the stem. Okay, so again, we're working backwards here. We see cantar is my verb that is to sing completely. This is my infinitive. My stem portion is that cant, and then my ending is that AR here. All right, so here's where we plug in those endings. If you remember from last year, we kind of had a little melody to help us remember the flow of these endings. It went something like o, as, a, amos, ais, an. right? And you can just repeat that back and forth to yourself. O as a, amos ais an. O as a, amos ais an. Our chart will always stay the same, right? So if you can remember that little melody, you should have an easier time recalling which ending belongs to which subject pronoun. All right, so forming questions. We spoke a little bit about this in our previous reviews, and that is done by inverting the subject and the verb, right? So verb comes first. And in this case, or for our examples down here, the translations of the Spanish present tense includes the English helping verb do. Okay, so questions can also be indicated by a rising intonation without changing that word order. But I think good practice is to keep it in this grammatically solid form where you have your verb in front of your subject here. Okay, that way you don't have to rely too heavily on that rising intonation. So if I want to say, do you sing on Sundays? I would see my verb here, cantas tú los domingos? Do you sing on Sundays? The example beneath it is that restructured order of the tú and then the cantas, but again, you would have to do that inflection. So rather than saying tú cantas los domingos, you would have to change that to tú cantas los domingos. You see what I mean? Okay, so just a brief little review over our pronunciation. All words that end in vowels, a, e, I, o, or u, or the consonants n or s, have their natural stress on the second to last syllable. And I think that's kind of hard to explain. It's much easier to look at the visuals here. So we see yo canto. Notice how that can was a little bit stronger than that to ending. I have tú cantas, él canta, nosotros cantamos, y ellos cantan. And then if a word carries an accent mark, you guys know the drill. That's where we're going to stress that syllable, just like with vosotros cantáis. All right. Ya es todo, mis amigos. I'd like to do just a couple of examples with you. Let's pick back up with estudiar, where we had left off earlier. If I wanted to say, I study every day, my subject here is going to be yo, right? And then my verb is estudiar. But I have to remember there are two steps that I have to do. The first of which being dropping that infinitive ending, so this AR here. Now I'm left with my stem, estudi, and then I need to plug in the ending that matches my subject here, which for yo is O. Then I see yo estudio, or I study. All right, let's do another. If I wanted to say that he buys a book, my subject pronoun for he is él, and then my verb for to buy is comprar. Same thing as before. I've got to take off that infinitive ending AR. I'm left with my stem, and then I need to plug in the ending that matches él, which it would be a, because I have o, as, a. So él compra is what we should see here, and we'll add in un libro, a book. All right. Now, eventually with a little more practice, you won't need to continue to add the infinitive ending and then take it off, but you'll just know I need to take it off, and you'll plug in whatever ending matches that subject, right? All right. If you all have any questions, as always, let me know. And aside from that, espero que tengas un maravilloso día y nos hablamos pronto. Adiós, amigos.